Halifax. Will Sharp at full-back, James Clare and James Saltonstall on the wings. Might be a good day for James Clare on what is a perfect surface this afternoon. Ben Eaton and Steve Tyree in the centres, Scott Morrell and James Woodburn Hall keep the half-back berths. Will Mayer and Dan Merrick starting at props with Brandon Moore as hooker. Ed Barber shows his versatility by starting in the second row this afternoon alongside Simon Griggs, with Jacob Fairbank locking up the scrum. Dan Fleming, Ben Kay, Sean Jones and Elliot Morris make up the Halifax 17. Halifax will play from left to right after that 8-minute silence. Yeah, Rochdale, a couple of Rochdale supporters passed away this week. And Kilshaw looking for a much better performance from his side this afternoon. Rochdale will kick off. Deep kick is returned back over the 10-metre line. Rochdale moving up quickly. They're returning the ball back. Halifax looking to the short side and making good metres on that far side up to the 40. Referee pulling back a good 10 metres. Brandon Moore goes from acting half and takes Halifax into the Rochdale half. Fairbank shows and goes with the step. Fairbank still going. Goes the full back Lepori to him, makes the tackle. Morrell will test Massam, who slips initially, and Massam is going to be caught in goal with the ball, and that will mean Rochdale dropping out from under the post, and Rob Massam a bit unlucky there. The ground fairly soft underneath. This has been relayed not long ago for that match between Tottenham Hotspur and Rochdale last week. I walked across it earlier. It felt firm, but it's obviously slippy underfoot. And Massam, mistake and slip, allowing Halifax to move up, and now Daniel Merritt will drive it back towards those Rochdale defenders, 25 metres out, using the short side. Morrell gets it away to Ben Heaton, and Heaton tackled by Massam. I think that must be Toby King, perhaps without a number. Halifax looking for first point for Rochdale. Rochdale player touched the ball so far is the man that kicked off and Rob Masson, but now they'll get a second touch because Halifax have tried to force the pass and come up with the error inside the 10. Well, there'll be some cold fingers initially despite the sunny conditions. It's only about 2 or 3 degrees the air temperature. Halifax will be looking to replicate that performance that Dewsbury made here on Monday night, bringing out big winners. And again, Rob Masson having trouble going inside looking to run the ball out but losing the footing again. Maybe he's only got short studs on, maybe he's only got trainers on, but he's obviously having trouble. Twice gone for the ball, twice he's slipped, but this time not as much of a risk as it's Rochdale possession as they get out to the 30. Ball coming across the field and the runners are there, and Ben Heaton rushing inside as Saltonstall did last week to cut out the options. Halifax taking the risk, and Dave Allen it was that was caught with the ball. Will Sharp comes forward for the kick and takes it, and there was contact in the air there with Lee Mitchell. There was just a little bit too keen to get to the ball. Didn't make any attempt for it though, ran straight into it was Lapori, not Mitchell, who ran straight into Will Sharp while he was still in the air. Kicks, good kick deep into Rochdale territory. Halifax back where they've been for the opening minutes of these games. As Saltonstall gives it to Ben Heaton, and Masson with a strong tackle needed some help. Heaton was going at full belt then. Murray shows the ball, then loses it, and another error from Halifax early in the tackle count. Not on team sheet. Well, Rochdale to try and take the ball out of their own half again. A couple of former Halifax players in their ranks with Luke Adamson and Ryan Manili currently sitting on the bench. Here's Adamson now, he gets the ball away. It's a stray pass and it's just a Rochdale player. There should have been an offside there because it's gone off Lapori onto one of his own players who was in an offside position. The referee I think seeing it as accidental. Morell calling for the penalty, the Halifax captain. And it will be Scott Morell who feeds the scrum eventually when it goes down. Brandon Moore off the back of the scrum, using the right hand side, going on his own, not making too many metres. Murray hard and straight this time into the defence. Brandon Moore from acting half. Woodburn all the run round with Griggs, and Woodburn all still going, and eventually brought to ground by Lee Mitchell. I'll blow the whistle, and Terry exchanging words with I think it was Will Mayer there after the ball had gone. There's a hinting off the ball, perhaps that's Tyre whose indiscretion has given Halifax a penalty. Well, they've turned down the opportunity of an early 2 points to try and play through the 6, struggling to do that so far in the Rochdale half of the field. Been there a couple of times and made the errors. And Will Mayer takes the first drive up. Brandon Moore looks left. Woodburn all drops the shoulder. Sends Griggs on a dummy run, and Mitchell, the tackler. Jacob Fairbank driving it up and looking for the offload, and then turning round, and eventually a third man into the tackle. Ends the run from Fairbank, 3 metres out. Morell goes on his own, attracts 3 defenders to him, and Tahiri stamping his authority on the tackle there as Woodburn Hall kicks through, forces Lapori back to take the ball, and he does well to bring the ball back into the field of play from his own in-goal area. Leon Cross, a St Helens Academy player, sets the first run up. Earl Hurst it is, number 3, signed from the North Wales Crusaders. And now Halifax caught snapping a little bit, and Hurst gets the ball away, and the ball put down. With a glorious opportunity from halfway. A lack of control. From Rochdale, an error is made, and not a day would expect to see too many errors. On the cold conditions, almost ideal. Brandon Moore gets it to Tyra on that left hand side, and then moves in quickly for the next play. Will Meyer driving it up to the Rochdale 30, back to the short side again. Perhaps weaknesses down that side as Tyra goes through the first tackle and over the 20. Brandon Moore waits patiently. Rochdale try to slow it down. Griggs running across the defence, gets it away to Morell, and not able to do much. Scott Morell as the defence moves in quickly on him. Dan Merritt will drive the ball up, and he's dragging defenders with him towards that line. It took 3 to bring him down 10 metres out. Woodburn Hall, long pass out wide, and there's an interception, but the referee has called it back and cancelled out the advantage. Woodburn Hall left on the floor, requiring attention. Rochdale will bring it away. It must be a turnover, and Halifax moving up quickly to make the tackle, but struggling. 3 men around the ball carrier. He's still going forward. Here's Hurst taking it up towards the 40. Well, Rochdale spent a lot of time in their own half looking to move it across the field now, but Tahiri is well tackled by 3 Halifax defenders, still shy of the 40-metre line. Dave Allen will run the ball up, former Wigan and Widnes player, been up in Cumbria the last couple of years with Whitehaven. And Luke Adamson takes it over the Halifax 40. Back to Danny Yates for the kick. It's come off Ed Barber. Did it come off Ed Barber as he played for it? It did. Rochdale are going to get the ball. And for the first time, Rochdale will have 6 tackles in the Halifax half. Yates. There's the ball. Palfrey. Stand off, dropping out, and Leon Cross is close to the line as well as he tries to spin out of 2 tackles, the winger. Palfrey. It's a short pass away, but there's a big groan there with the tackle. Palfrey gets it away, and Halifax will be hoping to keep the line intact, but the ball's come away. There's a 2-on-1, and Rob Massam will be in for the first Rochdale try, and Halifax failing to cut down the angle. Massam allowed to go in 10 metres, and while Halifax complain, Rochdale celebrate just to the left hand of the uprights, and a first visit into the Halifax quarter of the field, and it's a try for Rob Massam, and it's Rochdale Hornets 4, Halifax 0. Well, more by looking at management that the ball was kept alive. There was an overlap with King feeding Massam. Toby King on dual registration from Warrington, Irish international. Putting in Rob Massam. A Welsh international, a former North Wales Crusader. What's that doing on back in the shirt time? The vet playing at 10, locking down at loose forward. Was a squad number 26 according to the Rochdale website, so you'll find out who the number 31 is now. I think we've got everybody covered. This is Toby King. Put down by Barber and Moore. Livette, another Irish international on dual registration from Warrington. Having an impact, Dave Allen gets it away. It was an early pass to King, who didn't expect it, and he juggled with it. It allowed the Halifax defence to get there, and eventually it takes 4 to stop him. Halifax need to be alert as Ben Moores goes from acting half, and suddenly Rochdale have stepped it up again and managed to carry the ball back into the Halifax half of the field. Palfrey from Yates, and Tester for Will Sharp, and Sharp up for it, and well taken by Will Sharp under pressure from Rob King, and Saltonstall into Palfrey and Adamson on the 20-metre line. As James Clare comes inside, looking to help out, carrying the ball forward. Well, they're not shy taking the ball up. James Clare turns up all over the field. Fairbank gets to the 40. Woodburn Hall to Will Sharp. Sharp with a handoff gets it to Griggs, and Griggs loses ground as he tries to push off the Rochdale defence, who've kept Halifax in their own half as the referee raises his hand for the last tackle. We're back to Woodburn Hall, who gets the kick away, and Lepore back to field it. Another man who spent time at Whitehaven, Richard Lepore, and another man who's having trouble with the studs as he slips on the 20-metre line under pressure from Barber. Massam more effective that time, quick play the ball, and Yates gets it away to Dave Allen, and Halifax being pushed back to defending in their own half again. Morrell with a tackle on Allen. Yates to Harvey Livette, who I think it's made some appearances, the Warrington first team. Palfrey gets it away. And looking to spread the ball about, and it's Toby Adamson who's just come on the field and earned his side first penalty. Well, so often you hear the phrase that after the match last week against Toronto, people saying if Halifax played like that every week they'll not lose too many games, but unfortunately it's not just as simple as that to have that intensity. Psychologically, you're playing Rochdale, who lost by 32 points, but had a different proposition from Toronto in different ways, and proving stubborn once they've got into this game with an early trying goal. And now Livette will try and extend that lead to 8 points with a penalty from 25 metres out. And Livette taking his time. Finding the mark, teammates cheering before the ball had gone over then. Not surprising it's 6-0 up that Rochdale to take that option within a kickable distance, and waiting for the ball to come on and then to arrive at once. Referee satisfied the ball's off the field, and I'll make it clear for Scott Merrill to kick off and keep it low on the floor, and Palfrey picks it up, and again Rochdale are proving slippery as Palfrey lost his footing as he got the ball away. Hurst up from acting half, tackled by Woodburn, Hall and Mayer. And Livett expected to do a lot there as the ball was given to him by Lee Mitchell. Luke Adamson looking for a big game against his former club. The man in charge of conditioning at Rochdale, a former Halifax player in Miles Greenwood. Palfrey down the touchline. And the ball kept in play by Clare and given to Will Sharp, who fancies a foot race, and he's got around two and created himself a little bit of an opening there, Will Sharp, in taking it up to Adamson on the 20-metre line. Quick play the ball, and Saltonstall looks to make more metres. He gets it away. Halifax are able to capitalise anymore as James Clare is caught. Ben Heaton will take it to halfway. Brandon Moore goes from dummy half, running hard and straight at the defence, looking for the smallest player on the Rochdale side, aiming straight at Yates and then coughing up possession. And another mistake by Halifax in the Rochdale half of the field means that they'll surrender possession again. After spending the bulk of the first 10 minutes in the Rochdale quarter of the field, coming up with a few errors, Rochdale have managed to punish Halifax, and here they go again, running the ball out wide and round the back with Lepora linking in from full back, taking it almost up to halfway. Leon Cross takes it in field. Palfrey gets the ball away. Livette looking for support, and well, a 2-on-1 for King, but Massam just a little bit too far away to get the ball to, and then Rob King is driven back to halfway, and Ed Barber continues and is still moving, so surely is still there to be tackled. The referee had called held, but why should he call only still moving, with Halifax with a tremendous defensive effort being punished, and the second penalty being given to the Hornets. And Ben Moores to Yates, Yates to Livette. Moores moves into acting half, gets his ball away to Palfrey. Lepore up from full back, gets it away to Hurst, but the ball has gone loose, and it looked for a moment as though the referee was going to indicate a play on there, but giving Halifax the benefit of the doubt with the Rochdale error. Halifax supporters trying to encourage their players. Since that 10-minute spell, looked to be second best to a Rochdale Hornets, so a bit of a spring in the step. And Tyra will take the ball out on the first try while the forwards come off the scrum. And Will Sharp, second runner, taking it midway between 20 and 30 metre line. And that's a great ball from Saltonstall to Fairbank. Well, Fairbank with a lot of work to do. Good tackle from Lepore, the full-back. Not in a rush to get up off Fairbank. Halifax pouring forward on that far side, and James Clare having to reach up for that pass from Griggs, and Clare looking for options and then dropping the shoulder and trying to go through the middle, as eventually hauled down about 18 metres out from the Rochdale line. Gets some plays it Brandon Moore to Will Mayer, who passes the ball to Morrell, and Morrell takes on the Rochdale defence and takes Halifax within 10 metres on the last tackle. Halifax looking at that left hand side. They were looking a little lighter players on that far side, but referee has waved play on after deciding that ball was caught in the playing area rather than in goal area, and Hurst trying to bustle his way through the Halifax defence. King coming across, trying to help out the forwards after they've just done work in defence, and Moores gets the pass away. Massam comes in off the wing. Rochdale making good progress, and Moores going from acting half makes it to halfway on the last tackle. Looking for the penalty. It's back to Palfrey for the kick down the touchline, and no mistake this time from the Rochdale standoff as he gets the ball over the touchline on the far side. Rochdale ending the set well in the Halifax quarter of the field. Good kick from Palfrey pushes them back. Jacob Fairbank was screaming for somebody, praying for somebody to turn up in support for a certain 4-pointer for Halifax, but a good tackle by Lepore, the full-back, denying it Jacob Fairbank. And Livett off the back of the scrum and losing his footing as Sharp runs into him and Luke Adamson, as Halifax making good progress again up to the 40 on the second tackle. Will Mayer, Palfrey has put himself in the way and has hurt himself, might need some attention to that shoulder. It's causing him some discomfort. Will Sharp gets it to Ed Barber, and Barber takes on the Rochdale defence. To the Rochdale 40 as Morrell sends Fairbank on a dummy run and cuts the ball back inside, but goes nowhere, and Scott Morrell shouting instructions to his support players, and James Clare up on that far side, but the ball finished up in the hands of Dion Cross, the Rochdale winger, and Richard Lepore and try and take the ball away. Whereas Palfrey still receiving attention. Rochdale down to 12 men in attack at the moment. Halifax going to slow down. Earl Hurst, quick attempt to play the ball as King goes forward. Adamson. Short ball. Halifax holding up in defence. Last tackle just inside the Rochdale half, and Moores will kick it down the touchline this time. Dan Fleming waits to come on for Halifax. Lewis Palfrey leaves the field for Rochdale. Halifax looking to make a dual change, but they can't do it while the scrum's going. James Clare, that looked tight. Pat Moran interfering at the play, the ball all over James Clare. Well, I thought it would have been pinged for the high tackle, which it appeared to be, but Moran made no attempt to move out of the way. Another one of the Irish internationals on dual registration from Warrington. Well, Alan Kilshaw certainly got the response he wanted so far from his side. Dan Fleming, first touch ended by 3 Rochdale defenders. Fairbank taking the ball up, looked to get the arm free. And Dan Fleming ready to run again. Morrell goes back the other way and gets it to Woodburn Hall. Tyra tries to go around the outside, and the Rochdale defenders get to him, almost spun him into the corner then. James Clare with a pass inside to Woodburn Hall, and Woodburn Hall will have to go on his own. The Rochdale defence were in close attendance. Simon Griggs to Morrell, and Morrell looked to take a high one then on his way to the Rochdale defence, but they put him down. Moving up quickly on him. There's no attempt made to get out of the way. Brandon Moore will get it to Ed Barber. Ed Barber behind Sharp, and Saltonstall having trouble down in this corner with the footing, slipping as he had to go back and try and retrieve the football for Halifax. It says Rochdale 8, Halifax 0. 2 defeats from the first 3 games for Halifax. Well, Rochdale certainly don't look like a side that played on Monday night. There have been 3 changes through injury forced from that game on Monday. For the 14 that played on Monday, doesn't seem to be any ill effects as Masson takes it forward. Levesque gets the quick service away to Toby Adamson. Brother Luke stands a bit further out, calls the shot. Looks like the ball might get to him at some point. It does now. Look round the back. Lepore tries to go on his own. Halifax defends, keeping Rochdale in their own half for 5 tackles again. As Levesque hoists the ball downfield, and that is not the best of bounces. Will Sharp manages to get it, but he's unable to make any real advantage for it. Manages to take it back 10 metres towards halfway. Saltonstall will go from acting half, take it over the 40, still trying to make his way forward despite the attention of 3 defenders. Ben Kay on for Halifax gets it away to Griggs. The big handoff from Simon Griggs, and a shove, but too many defenders around Griggs this time. Fleming to Morrell. Morrell to Sean Jones. Sean Jones with Daniel Murray. Rochdale able to play on, but the referee has indicated a forward pass from Rochdale. Sean Jones in 26. Sean Jones replacing Dan Merritt. Dan Fleming on, I think, for Will Meyer, as Rochdale get possession again. 35 minutes gone in the first half. It's Rochdale leading 8 points to 0, and Halifax looking second best at the moment, having to do a lot of work in defence, a lot of possession for Rochdale as Toby King slides into the tackle. Danny Yates trying to cut through the Halifax defence, but failing to do so. Last tackle again. Levesque will put the ball in the air again, and that's swirling about all over the place, but it could go anywhere. Halifax have got the possession despite a Rochdale hand, I think, touching that one, as James Clare comes inside, threatens to pass, sets the ball up to the defence. Salt the stall again. Oh, but Rochdale with Adamson. Oh, that's a great run from Sean Jones, who gets back up again and has a second go at the defence. Adamson lying all over him, and the second penalty goes to Halifax. Well, they won't be taking a shot at goal. They'll be wanting to get some points on the board. A great run from Sean Jones, and almost an even bigger second effort. Fleming, 12 metres out. Halifax looking for the first points. Morrell puts the ball down, frustrated at that error. Well, it's one thing that Halifax have struggled with this season, apart from the Sheffield game, it's putting points on the board and breaking down the opposition defence. Sheffield, not one of the strongest teams so far this season. Rochdale leaking 38 points on Monday. Well, they look like they're certainly plugged the holes in defence so far this afternoon. And Halifax still scoreless in the first half as Toby King is tackled by Morrell and Heaton, gets up and plays it quickly. Massam goes inside, met by Ben Kay, slowed down, finished off by Jones and Fairbank. And Manili on for Rochdale, and almost breaking through there. Louis Mitchell caught with the ball on the 40-metre line. Adamson. Chances here for Rochdale as Halifax get back desperately in defence, with Tyra saving Halifax there as Toby Adamson's threatened to break through. Toby King with the offload away to Manili. Luke Adamson gets it away, Lepari in the line from fullback again. Referee signals a last tackle. And Levesque with a kick, which is scooped up, I think, by Tyra. Gets up, plays the ball. Rochdale looked very close then as the ball was played. They're quick off the mark. Woodburn Hall. And once again Halifax struggling to get forward. The speed at which Rochdale, surely there's a mess about the play of the ball. Halifax are appealing for a penalty. Rochdale defence will have to move back again, and Sean Jones, well, not as effective this time, tackled by Manili. Back to Morrell. Morrell goes for the 40-20 and has got the 40-20 that Halifax need before half time. Well, there's not that much time left on the clock. Halifax looking for the tap where Rochdale were ready to put the scrum down. I think they've forgotten the rules there as Halifax get a penalty. Rochdale defence up to Morris too quickly. Fleming tackled by Manili. Is there enough time left for Halifax to perhaps post some points as Morrell gets it out to Sharp. Sharp to Heaton. Heaton goes without it. and Halifax have made another error in the Rochdale quarter of the field. The referee is saying first knock on. Possession will go to Rochdale, and they'll be just looking to stick it up the jumper and play out the first half, I would imagine. Well, as the efforts of last week put a strain on this Halifax side, well, it shouldn't have done, because Rochdale have picked herself up after a tough night on Monday against the Dewsbury Rams, and put in probably the best 40 minutes of the season, even though it's only the third 40 minutes of the season. So they're looking a lot more impressive than they did for that game on Monday. You can't, he's given a penalty. How can you give a penalty when a man's laid on the floor injured? And fisticuffs 5 metres inside the Rochdale half. Luke Adamson being pulled away. I find it a bit strange that it's Elliot Morris that was on the floor. It's not a case of not moving out of the way, he wasn't able to move out of the way. It's Ben Kay actually that's receiving attention. So you can Scott Morrell with Luke Adamson speaking to the referee. So he's questioning how he can give a penalty when a man on the floor injured. Well, the medical staff coming on would suggest that it was a genuine injury. However, the referee has upheld his decision to give Rochdale a penalty, and Livette will kick for touch on this near side. And maybe Rochdale could post some more points before half time. Certainly close enough. Manile to Dave Allen. Dave Allen brought down 5 metres away. Manile to Yates, Yates to Livette, and Lepori in to the line, but Woodburn spotting him well and moving out and making the tackle 10 metres out. And Fleming's head looked to go back there as Toby Adamson took the ball forward. Pressure on this Halifax line late in the first half. Oh, that's a wild pass. Lepore, a little bit of room to work in, but falling on the 20 metre line on the last tackle. Toby King has moved into acting half and is going to kick off the outside of the foot, and Will Sharp picks it up for Halifax and brings it back 9 or 10 metres. Saltonstall will do well to get away from there. Luke Adamson charging at him. Both Adamsons, Luke and Toby, moving here from Dewsbury in the off-season. Ben Heaton struggling, and there's a penalty. Pat Moran pleading his innocence, but no doubt it was all over Ben Heaton there. Well into the first half, perhaps in overtime now. Saltonstall will tap it to himself and run the ball at the defence. Ben Heaton went with him, but there's never a chance of getting the pass away. And another Halifax penalty. Well, that's 2 penalties in quick succession for slowing down the play of the ball, and this time the referee has stopped the clock while there is another injury to Toby Adamson, this time receiving attention. So what will this passage of play make the half-time team talk any easier? I don't think it will if Halifax do score. Sean Jones will drive the ball up to the Rochdale line and 3 defenders round him, just putting him down. He's almost on the try line there. Ben Kay manages to get the ball down, buries his way under the Rochdale defence. Well, it's taken a long time after Halifax dominated that first 10 minutes and made the errors that kept turning it over to Rochdale. But finally they're over the line with Ben Kay, who managed to burrow his way under 3 Rochdale defenders there after Sean Jones had almost gone over, and the fact that he got so close and had to draw so many defenders was testament to the strength of Ben Kay, because they were all around him, and somehow he managed with a downward trajectory to push his body over the line to score Halifax's first try and give Steve Tyrer what should be a relatively simple kick, but Steve Tyrer's target on his practice before the match was not too accurate from this side of the field. I'm trying to shield the sun from his eyes, but he's managed to convert Ben Kay's conversion. In 107 games, that's Ben Kay's 10th try for Halifax. A very important time of the game, just before half time, which I keep saying, but the clock seems to be still running on. No real long stoppages in the first half. Livett kicks off, Ben Heaton underneath it. Only pair of safe hands, a former fullback of course, Ben Heaton. Saltonstall comes inside again, trying to take the ball up. Ben Kay to Sean Jones. 3 defenders lying in wait on the 40-metre line. Scott Morrell manages to get the ball away to Woodburn Hall, who's almost away, but for Livette's clutching arms around the top of his body, Morrell kicks over the top into the corner, chases on. Lepori gets there first and falls on the 10-metre line. Gets up slowly and plays the ball. Hooter finally sounds for the end of the first half, with Dion Cross with ball in hand. A very lame hooter. Weak performance by Halifax in the first 40 minutes. Dominating the first 10 minutes, but giving possession up too easy in fairly cold conditions. Rob Maslin with a try for the Rochdale Hornets, converted by Livett, and then Livett, probably on the instructions of Alan Kilshaw, taking the opportunity to improve that lead to 8 points to 0, to force Halifax a little bit to get back into the game and throw the ball about, but they've still made too many errors, and it took until 2 minutes from half time for Ben Kay to force his way over with 3 defenders round him. Tyrer converted. Halifax just 2 points behind, with a lot of work to do in this second half. At half time at the Crown Oil Arena, it is Rochdale Hornets 8, Halifax 6. Scott Morrell waits, getting the second half underway. Halifax trailing 8 points to 6. Well, they know what they have to do, whether they can do it or not. The Rochdale side will be very determined for 38 minutes of that first half, until Ben Kay forces his way over. Adamson takes the ball 25 metres out from the Rochdale line. Manili pass away to Luke Adamson. Continues the movement. Here comes Luke Adamson again. So it's going to be relied on quite a lot this season, starting on the team sheet in the front row. The vet gets his kick away under pressure from Griggs, and Will Sharp knocks it backwards. Will Sharp has more luck than other people have in that part of the field with the wet conditions, causing one or two to slip there. Saltonstall smothered by the Hornets defence. 3 men around him. Ben Kay goes from acting half, and Ben Kay manages to make 10 metres. James Clare comes in off the wing, carries it another 10 metres, but diagonally. More controlled approach from Halifax, and not particularly working well as Kay goes again from acting half to take it over halfway into Rochdale territory. Referee signalling the last tackle. Morell gives it to Woodburn Hall, who gets his kick away. Lapore underneath it, and seems to have been stood in the shadow of the floodlights that has cast across the centre of the field. Masson picks up and goes from acting half. Rochdale using that short side with Dave Allen, who's managed to get over the 40 metre line despite the attention of 3 defenders around him. Crossfield kick is to put pressure on James Clare. Looks up, and there's only Rochdale players in front of him. Even his own teammates are struggling to get back behind the ball. Morell moves into acting half. Referee didn't look to take Rochdale back a very big 10 metres then. Ben Kay gets it to Tyra. Tyra out to Woodburn Hall, and Woodburn Hall is chased down by Dion Cross. It's taken Halifax much nearer that Rochdale danger zone as Sean Jones drives the ball up onto the 20 metre mark, gets up, plays it quickly. Ben Kay gives it to Morell. Morell finds Griggs, and Griggs almost away from the defence, finds 3 men around him and slowing down the play of the ball. Ben Kay goes from acting half again, and Ben Kay, well, if it had been 6'2" he might have got there, but not the biggest of men, and somehow Rochdale holding out Ben Kay from getting a double either side of half time. Halifax must now try and contain this Hornets side in their own quarter of the field without the risk of giving a penalty away. 2 tackles made inside the 10. Looking for more effort like that as Rochdale get up to the 20 metre line. Manili from acting half. 2 tackles inside the 10, another 2 tackles, and they're up to the 40, and now we're going to be even further away with Dan Fleming adjudged to have held down Manili, and the penalty is launched deep into Halifax territory. Low penalty count with only 3 to each side in the first half. And Rochdale looking to make advantage and make a most of this opportunity. Yates gets the ball away. Luke Adamson knocked down 8 metres from halfway. Manili feeds Toby Adamson, and Rochdale are in again. And Halifax opened up, thought the ball was going to go right, and Rochdale switched it to the left. So we had Toby Adamson and Pat Moran on DR from Warrington over for a first try of the second half, and the second try for Rochdale in this game, leaving Harvey Levette a fairly easy attempt for the left hand side of the uprights. There's a left-footed kicker. Shouldn't be too much trouble for Levette, and he's put that one through the middle. That's 3 from 3 from Harvey Levette. Restoring the 8-point lead, all going back to conceding that penalty. Morel high into the air, and Levette comes forward for it, and Harvey Levette was almost aware there. It was just an ankle tap from Steve Tyrer, who has number 28 on his back for this second half. Ball fed by Yates. Halifax make the tackle just outside the Rochdale 40. I'm sure Alan Kilshaw will have been a happy man at half time, will have been even happier to see Moran go over. And here come Warrington with Rochdale with Warrington man Moran again. Kick from Yates, and that is a ply that Rochdale will use probably a lot in the second half. They're trying to put the kick down into Halifax territory, forcing Halifax back towards their own line, aware of the fact Halifax seem to be struggling to put points on the board, and in fact carry the ball anywhere near the Rochdale line to pose a threat. Ben Heaton with the first drive. Well, Halifax have won the last 7 meetings between these clubs, and Tyrer dumped to the ground by Luke Adamson and dragged back as well. Dan Fleming will try and take Halifax forward, and he too finding his path blocked. Ben Kay to Sean Jones, and Jones with a good leg drive over the 40, trying to get up and play the ball quickly. No attempt made by Rochdale to really get out of the way as Ed Barber charges onto the ball. Last tackle inside the Rochdale half. It'll be to Morel this time, who'll hoist the ball high in the air. It'll swirl about a bit on the wind. Nobody wants it. And Morris seemed to catch the Rochdale fullback Richard Lepari then. I'm not sure if Lepari went down awkwardly when he caught the ball. Medical staff on again. Water carriers as well. A lot of attention for Richard Lepore. I'm not maybe to try to run the clock down a bit, but the referee will have surely stopped the clock. While the Rochdale fullback receives attention. 2 spells at Oldham on the side of Whitehaven. So it'll be fairly lively, bringing the ball back as Lipori, the full-back, this afternoon. Doesn't seem to look so lively now. He's had some strapping applied to the left knee, and we'll try and run the injury on. There's some strapping, maybe some more strapping applied to the left knee. Mitchell gets to the 40, stopped by the Tyra. Alright, Mitchell had a word or two for Tyra then as he got up and went back into line. Well, looks like I'll be back in a minute, and there he is, into Tyra again. Same result, Tyra makes the tackle. Livette holds the ball out one-handed, looking for support, doesn't find any, and goes down. Manila acting half last tackle. Yates kicks into touch again, forcing Halifax back. And once again Halifax find themselves swimming down in their own quarter of the field. Neither side in a rush to put the scrum down. Both sides perhaps looking for a breather. As James Clark comes inside, referee calls the scrum back again. And maybe Halifax will use the same ploy. Well, they do, but it's a telegraphed one, and it's a lot slower this time as James Clare drives the ball into the 2 Rochdale defenders. Ben Heaton comes up from acting half. And this time the referee has pulled Rochdale for the offside, keeping the penalty count level at 4 apiece. Halifax waste no time in putting the ball into touch. They need the next score again, as they did in the first half, to get themselves back into this game. Trailing by 8 at 14 points to 6. Needed a quick response. Woodburn all out to Griggs, and Griggs with a handoff on Livette. But Mitchell coming across. Woodburn all to Sean Jones. Drives it forward. Dan Fleming, Morell to Will Sharp, and Sharp cuts through the defence, and Will Sharp is over. Well, I think he slid the last metre over the line. Looks as though he was going to pass. The defence were hanging off. And Halifax get the reply they wanted to that try. And Will Sharp on there to a good passing move across the Rochdale defence. First try of the season for Will Sharp, 15th of his Halifax career. And it takes Halifax into double points for the first time, back to within 4 points of that Rochdale total. Rochdale 14, Halifax 10. The kick to come from Tyra is 3 metres in from the far side touch line. Alan Kilshaw making 2 changes. Bringing back on Ben Moores and Joe Tahira. And Tyra taking a long time. Knows how important this kick is, because it'll take Halifax back to within 2 if it misses the mark, but it doesn't. It fails. Halifax trail by 4. It stays 14-10 at the Crown Oil Arena. Well, Halifax will be hoping they can push on as Rochdale did in the first half, because they built momentum after their try in the first half. They saw the first try in the second half. Halifax have got back to within 4 again. Ben Heaton will receive and run the ball back to the 20-metre line and plays it quickly. Sean Jones proving a handful. 3 men it's needed to put him down. Elliot Morris. Well, there were appeals for a high tackle then. Ben Kay to Dan Fleming, and Fleming with the offload. Livette goes for the steal and takes the ball out of Woodburn Hall's hands. The problem here, Dion Cross going for the line. Mitchell missed by Murray, caught by Jones. 18 metres out. Moores to Yates. Yates tackled by Ben Kay. Tyra gets the offload away to Moran, and Moran's put down on the last tackle 4 metres out. Halifax need to be alert for one more tackle. Tyra, strong charging run, but there's plenty of Halifax players to block his path and block his run. Saltonstall and Heaton immediately into centre field. Looks like they're going to try and take the ball away of it. Tyra is the first one. Saltonstall will be the second. Looks to pass, but not to take any risks close to his own line. Ben Kay from acting half, and Ben Kay almost spinning out of the tackle. Halifax making important metres away from their own line. Sean Jones given the short ball, and Sean Jones with some power, just hauled down by Mitchell on halfway, gets up and plays it quickly. Woodburn Hall gets it back to Daniel Murray, who's back on the field. Last tackle. Halifax looking for something. Woodburn Hall out wide to Tyra. Tyra gives it back inside to James Clare. James Clare for the corner. Looks to stay on his feet, but he's put down. A metre out from the line. There'll be a turnover on the 10-metre line. Looked like Clare might have created himself an opening then. Just caught by the defence. Good pass from Woodburn Hall out wide. And here comes Dion Cross again, causing problems, perhaps using Mitchell as a shield there, going behind him. Referee with something to say to Woodburn Hall. Putting something on report. Not quite sure what he saw then, because Woodburn Hall was obstructed by Mitchell anyway, so wouldn't be much to see as Massum's driven back. Strong defence. Murray, Jones and Kate. Hurst not as easy to push back. Will Sharp screaming instructions from deep down in his own half as Moran goes forward with the ball almost to the 40-metre line. Adamson, Luke Adamson up to halfway. Referee indicates it's the last tackle. It'll go back to Moran for the kick, which Will Sharp will field and bring back across the defensive line, and eventually tackled 18 metres out. Halifax bringing back on Will Meyer and Brandon Moore. Richard Martin looking for the key that will unlock this Rochdale defence and perhaps put Halifax back in the lead, and Will Meyer with a pair of fresh legs, tackled by Livette and Moores. James Clare from acting half. Morell went on a run through the middle, didn't receive the pass. Brandon Moore gets it to Dan Merritt. Woodburn-Hall's kick is a tester for cross. And it's bounced towards. Simon Griggs has picked the pocket of Richard Lepore, and I think Lepore was at a disadvantage then with the sun in his eyes, but Simon Griggs, it was a shocking bounce away from cross, and the fullback for Rochdale, Lepore, thought he had it covered, but Simon Griggs had other ideas. Stole in, pinched the ball from Lepore's fingertips. And Halifax's third tie from Simon Griggs ties the scores up at 14 points all. And Tyra surely from in front of the post should have put Halifax into the lead for the first time. Still a long way to go. But that kick from Woodburn-Hall causing all sorts of problems. It was a wicked bounce which Cross sure thought he had covered, and then Lepore thought he had covered. Simon Griggs appeared from nowhere. Lepore, with the sun in his eyes, probably didn't see too much of what was going on. And the grab for the ball, and it was gone into the hands of Simon Griggs, who made the conversion easy for Steve Tyra for his second of the game. And it's Halifax in the lead by 2 points. Rochdale 14, Halifax 16. It's Halifax in the lead for the first time. And as the sun drops even further, that one drops even further behind the post to the right hand side. It's Halifax might be able to use the kicking ploy a little bit more. A penalty, the kick by Livette going out as Scott Morrell stretched the hamstring there a little bit, as he maybe overstretched it in an attempt to get the ball out of touch, as Will Mayer drives the ball up 10 metres, Mitchell all over him. Brandon Moore to Sean Jones, and Jones just with a charging run, making metres towards that line. Daniel Merrywaits, will he be the second? No, Morrell will. Then out to Woodburn-Hall, who throws to Dummett, keeps hold of the ball and finishes up on the floor underneath Luke Adamson. Brandon Moore, Jones to Will Mayer. Mayer goes down eventually and loses the ball. Knock on, says the referee. I think Will Mayer's claiming that it was pulled out, but it seemed to be lost under impact when he was spun to the floor by the Hornets defence. Well, Scott Morrell receiving attention. A bit of a hyperextension there as the ball came down. He put his leg behind him to make sure he had 1 foot out of play, and seemed to slip with a hind leg, which has obviously caused him some problems, which seem to have been cleaned up by the medical staff. He stood with his hand in the air almost as if he's leading his troops there into a battle. Scott Morrell, a battle it will be for the remaining 20 minutes or so. Halifax look to keep the lead that they've now got. I'm sure Rochdale won't give it up, because they know they've got the quality in their side with the dual registered players from Warrington, bringing the best out of the rest of the Rochdale side. Yates to Toby Adamson. Toby Adamson finishes up on the floor 3 metres from halfway. Moores gets it away to Luke Adamson. Halifax defenders swarming round him, because Luke Adamson's been quite handy with the offload this afternoon, but not on this occasion. Back to Livette, who kicks through on the floor. and the pocket almost picked Scott Morrell there, and it was Joe Tahiri, the prop forward, who charged onto that one and has fallen awkwardly and hurt himself, and almost repeating what Scrix had done to score his try earlier there, Tahiri. Struggling a little bit is the prop forward. Says he's okay to carry on. Halifax will be glad he didn't get the ball then. He was going at some pace, was the Rochdale prop. Saltonstall. Oh, and that's a high tackle. That's a pressure reliever as Tahiri didn't have any trouble with his arm then as it connected with Saltonstall's head. And that's a touch of luck for Halifax as the ball bounces in front of Massam and goes into touch. Saltonstall waits for the ball. Halifax with the 6 tackles. Barber will take the first one up to the Rochdale defence, and he's put down on the fortet. Brandon Moore wants to get on with it. It's Jones. He's hit as soon as he took the ball and has done well to get anywhere there. As Rochdale were firing out of the block straight away as soon as the ball was played. Morrell beats to Jones. Sorry, the last runner was Daniel Murray. This is Sean Jones. Takes it up to the 20. Woodburn Hall to Will Sharp, and Sharp cuts through the defence. Will Sharp in for a second, and that was so easy from Will Sharp. The defence hanging off and hanging off. Will Sharp doesn't normally link into the line to pass the ball to anybody, and on that occasion, yeah, again he didn't. Much similar to the first try when he cut through the Hornets defence on the other side of the field. And this time Will Sharp turned it up on the left hand attack, carried the ball through the Rochdale defensive line and sail over for a second try, made it look quite easy. Rochdale defence had no answer to Will Sharp hitting the ball at speed.
Yeah, no, leave it, we'll just leave it for now until we keep the normal buzzer.
Well, I'm sure Steve Tyrer would prefer a simpler attempt. He's on the right side for a right-footed kicker. This would stretch the lead to 8 points if he's successful and pile more pressure back on the Rochdale Hornets. And Tyrer bringing it round, and not enough. It drifts to the right-hand side of the uprights. Well, Halifax have a 6-point lead. Well, still about 17 minutes to go in this second half. Halifax lead by 6, Rochdale 14, Halifax 20. Livette a little more conservative with the kick this time, dropping on the Halifax try line where Saltonstall gives it inside to Daniel Murray, and Saltonstall will go on his own this time from acting half. Gets up, plays it quickly. Brandon Moore takes the ball up to the fortet, stopped eventually. Defenders trying to turn him round. Woodburn Hall to Will Mayer, and Mayer takes it up 2 metres from halfway. Daniel Murray, and that's another high tackle. And it's Toby Adamson. Apologises to his teammates. Puts his side under more pressure. Referee having a word with Luke Adamson. There's been one or two high tackles. People seem to have gone unpunished, but certainly the tackles are moving up a little bit. That's Toby Adamson and Joe Tyree that have both been penalised for it, and a sensible option from Halifax, perhaps going for the 2 points, the 8-point lead.
Right, the kick will go short after this. It will be short kick-off, men on the sidelines. Make sure we give you the kick-off and have a really good set again.
Tyra from 40 metres out, within his range. It's front of the post. Depends on the wind that's been swirling around. Seems to have dropped a little bit, but has it dropped enough for Steve Tyra to... Well, it's hardly got off the ground as that one, and away to the side of the post, and Steve Tyra, 3 failures. And how costly could they be at the end of this game, which remains at Rochdale 14, Halifax 20. And Livette with a drop kick. Ben Heaton getting to it. Looked as though Livette had found some space there in the Halifax defenders, and the referee has called the knock on. Heaton under pressure from Tyree knocks the ball on. Well, they've certainly not given it up yet, haven't Rochdale. A catch and enthusiastic run back to the defensive line by Ben Heaton, but equally enthusiastic defence from Rochdale forces the error from Heaton. Earlhurst spinning away from the defenders. Tyra puts him down eventually. Livette gets the short ball away to Toby Adamson. 5 metres inside the Halifax half. Luke Adamson, the run round with Ben Mowers, who offloads to Yates. Toby Adamson again gets the offload away to Tyree, who's plenty of power and pace, and tries a wrecking ball running to the Halifax defence, who need to react fairly quickly, because here come Livette. Hurst has support outside him. James Clare gets the hand to the ball. Referee has waved knock on, and then has been called back, I think, by the touch judge. But which way has it gone? It's going to go in Rochdale's favour, because James Clare knocked on. It seemed quite obvious there that James Clare had knocked the ball on, but the referee seemed to wait for the touch judge's intervention there before he made that decision. So Rochdale will get another attempt. Yates gets the ball to Dave Allen. Allen tries to put Moran into the gap, and Halifax have forced an error of their own, putting a pressure on Moran. He puts the ball down, and Halifax will breathe a sigh of relief after hearing the whistle of the referee give them the possession at the scrum. They've still got to get it out their own quarter of the field. And Tyra again with the first run, picked up by James Clare, and Clare this time safe hands, carries it up to the 30. Brandon Moore to Will Mayer. Mayer charges it up to the Rochdale defence, but putting in a good tackle. Brandon Moore slipping just short of halfway. Scott Morrell gets the pass away. Smothering defence again from Rochdale, just inside their own half. Last tackle, look for Morrell for the kick, gets it down the touchline. Lapori goes across for it and brings it back inside, but Ed Barber waits to make the tackle with Ben Heaton. And Massam having trouble with the studs again, slipping as he tried to go from acting half. Dave Allen takes it up to the 40-metre line, gets up and plays it, and Ben Moores goes from acting half. Rochdale supporters claiming that Halifax were offside. Short side, Toby King brought down 30 metres out, last tackle. Yates to Tyra, and Tyra drops the shoulder, gets the pass away, and Halifax managed to make the tackle. Well, not the sort of play you'd expect on the last tackle, with a prop forward running the ball up. Scott Morrell struggling to get to his feet again, but perhaps more trying to buy a little time for his teammates. We'll get a drink in, try and get some air in the lungs to get some energy to take this ball away from their own line. Well, despite the fact that Halifax have won the last 7 meetings, there's never been any really big scores, and it looks like there's big winning margins, and it looks like that'll be the way it'll go today, as well as Simon Gritz takes it forward. It's Rochdale 14, Halifax 20. Still to play for Daniel Murray, slipping as he took the ball. Brandon Moore to Will Meyer, who drives the ball into the defence and takes it over halfway, drags 3 defenders with him back into Rochdale territory. They're slow to get up, and it'll be another penalty for Halifax. Dave Allen slow to clear the play of the ball, and a big penalty count, 5-1 against Rochdale in this second half, with the comfort of the 6-point lead a bit too far away this time, perhaps for Tyra. Halifax maybe looking to get nearer the post with Fairbanks, and perhaps the first 1-pointer of the season, as Jacob Fairbanks almost loses that ball on the ground. Morrell having to reach for that. Griggs, oh, bad pass. James Clare picks it up. Can James Clare carve himself something out of nothing? Well, Tyra makes a good tackle. Clare gets back up. Yates tries to steal the ball. 12 men in defence with Yates on the floor, and there's a knock on from Morris. Well, he gave a penalty when there was a Halifax player on the floor earlier, and this time he's given it the other way, or rather he gave a different decision earlier when Morris was down on the floor. And again, tempers boiling over and frustration getting the better of these two teams. On either side in a rush to scrum down. Jacob Fairbank has to lock up the Halifax scrum on the Rochdale 30. Halifax trying to waste a bit of time. Toby King driven back by the Halifax defence a couple of metres. Scott Morrell and Ben Heaton, the tacklers, could leave Halifax light on that far side, which is where Dave Allen's gone, and then he's been driven back as well. Halifax showing some determination in defence. Force Rochdale back. Tyre gets his pass away, look forward, the ball's come out to Livette as he sets off down the middle of the field, and Livette is put down on the 40-metre line looking for the penalty. Toby Adamson out to Mitchell, Mitchell back inside to Adamson, and Toby Adamson adjusts to a knocked on. Luke Adamson consulting with a referee. Well, it's Rochdale that have started making the errors in this second half. And a big penalty count against them has given Halifax the possession. Again, they're starting just outside their own 20. Tyra will be the first runner again for Halifax up to the Rochdale defence, draws 4 defenders to him. Can't put him down, so that will allow a quick play of the ball, and I'm not sure it was long enough to let Rochdale get back the required 10 metres. James Clare will pick it up and go from acting half, just taking it over halfway. Will Mayer has a bit of a juggle with it and takes it to the Hornets 30 metre line. Fairbank to Morell, and Morell tries to get Barber, but cold hands from Ed Barber. The ball goes to ground. Left,
get to buzzer. Complete. Repeat set. Played at the fucking line.
Well, clock ticking down. I reckon there's about 5 minutes left, possibly a little bit longer. With that breaking play when Lepori was attended to with his injured leg. Well, still time for Rochdale, but Halifax need to stem this Rochdale attack. Once again, they did a good enough job on the last set of 6 where they were forcing the man back with the ball. And hopefully Adamson's mistake letting him off the hook a bit. Lee Mitchell will not be pushed back. He's brought down 2 metres from halfway. Manili inside to Livette. Livette to Yates. Yates to Allen. Lepori linking in from full back, and opportunities down that far side, but Halifax get back to make the tackle. Dave Allen, a long pass to Luke Adamson. Look for the offload from Adamson, but Halifax smothering him to the floor pretty quickly. Manili moves into acting half. Moores to Mitchell, pops it up for Livette, who pushes away from 2 defenders, takes the ball back inside. Fairbanks misses him. Halifax strip the ball somehow, and the knock on will come against who is indicating is the referee that is a Rochdale knock on. I'm not indicating yet who's getting the ball.
Dan Fleming for Will, please. Dan needs to look his game and he goes back on. It buzzes okay.
Oh, Morell down on the floor again, receiving attention. Crucial time though to Captain Scott Morell leaving the field. Well, Richard Marson wants to get Dan Fleming back on, but there's a scrum taking place. Will they be allowed to make the change? They won't, as Will Mayer was leaving the field. Being told he's got the sound while the scrum's completed. Well, looks like it might be Ben Heaton that's lining up this time for the run out of defence. Well, it isn't, because Brandon Moore has come up with the ball for Halifax. Ben Heaton going from dummy half and making important metres. Saltonstall looking to do the same, and he's spun to the ground by Toby King. And Lepori and King somehow combine to commit another indiscretion, which gives Halifax another penalty. Which Scott Morell having a look round and trying to take up a bit of time. Referee seeing that has put his hand in the air and stopped the clock. Morell deposits the ball out into touch. Saltonstall gets it to Ben Heaton, and Ben Heaton charges the ball up to the 20. Can Halifax strike the killer blow? Dan Merritt, and Merritt almost out of the tacklers, takes it to within 10. Will it be an early attempt at a drop goal possibly? Well, no, because they moved out to the far side. Morell's come back on the inside, and Morell skips through, and Halifax are going to score. Ed Barber dropped it last time, but didn't this time, and that should be the try that seals it for Halifax. There's some distraught Rochdale bodies on the floor. There's hands on hips because he's put in a valiant effort this afternoon of Rochdale after defeat on Monday, but may have just come up short after Ed Barber. Scores Halifax's 4th try of the afternoon that gives them a 10-point lead. A kick to come from Tyra, whether he gets it or not. Rochdale are still going to have to score twice in the time that remains. And it looks like he's got a little bit too much for one or two of these Rochdale supporters who are heading for the exits. Halifax supporters aren't, although they might have thought about it for a while, with Rochdale leading and Halifax looking second best, but I know the mark of a good side. Just carry on and plug away. Halifax have done that. 24-14 in the lead. Look as though they may be going back over the Pennines with the 2 points. Tyra, another conversion that only just makes it over the uprights. Well, Rochdale 14, Halifax 26. 4 second half tries for Halifax with 2 conversions from Tyra. They struggled to find their scoring mojo, did Halifax. Livette with a short kick, comes back into Rochdale arms. Manili gets it away to Mitchell, Mitchell to Hurst, and Hurst all wrapped up by Woodburn Hall. Livette moves into acting half, and Mitchell will drive it forward up to the 20-metre line. Luke Adamson gets it away. Toby King looking for a way through. Big centre gets the ball away to Manili. Yates with Tyra going for the interception and Livette going for the try. And Livette has managed to get it down as it. Well, Dan Fleming's come up with it. The referee has pointed at the spot. Maybe yet time for Rochdale to snatch something from this game. And Livette converts his own try and makes it Rochdale 20, Halifax 26. And there's no rush for Halifax to get back to centre field, or do they go for the short kick-off? We're just seeing Rochdale throw the ball about from inside their own half. So nervous time for players, coaching staff and supporters alike, as Morell's kick is caught by Livette. He'll run it back. Well, he won't, he'll kick it back. Hooter sounds. All Halifax have to do is make it safe and kick it out of play, and Scott Morell has done that. But the referee has decided that Rochdale will have a penalty deep back in their own half. Well, the last throw of the dice from Rochdale is yet to come. Thought that kick from Livette was the last throw. So, Livette to kick for touch. Halifax need to make one more tackle. Is it going to be up in the air from Livette again? Quite possibly a kick through. Well, it doesn't matter, that one's not going to work. The hooter finally sounds Rochdale despondent after a valiant performance, much like Halifax's last week against Toronto. But in the end, the late try from Livette was all in vain. So was a late kick, even though they got a penalty off it. Converted his own try. 2 tries, 2 conversions for Rochdale. Either side of 4 tries and 2 conversions that won the game for Halifax, with Sharp with 2, Griggs and Barber 2 conversions from Tyra, who's had an off day with a boot, but at the end it didn't matter. Halifax with a 26-14 lead had enough in the end over the Rochdale Hornets, despite that late try from Livette and conversion. Finishing in, I suppose what you can say is controversial circumstances. The referee gave a penalty. Halifax will be happy to come away with the 2 points. Well, Kilshaw said he was going to put out a stronger squad, and he's certainly done that this afternoon. Halifax will be breathe a sigh of relief. It's the 2nd win, and they'll go to Batley next week. Never an easy place to win, but they've won here at the Crown Hall Arena this afternoon. Rochdale Hornets 20, Halifax 26.